Hi, I'm Miriam Joy, and welcome to my studio. Today we're working on our pretty and pink pumpkin, just because I know there's some of you out there that just like the pink and the bling, and they just want it a little bit different for the holiday decorations. So I am starting with a pumpkin picked up from any of the dollar stores, and they're foam pumpkins, and they have some that you can really see the foam, and then they have some others, and they're still in the same bin, so check them out, that look like they've got a plastic coating over the top of them, and then we want the one with the plastic coating over the top. And the first thing I did is I took mine out and spray painted it white. Now you can color it just by painting it white. That's not, you don't have to spray paint it, but it just really helps with a lot of the time. So but if you don't want to, you can simply just coat it with your multi-surface white paint. And it really is important that it is the multi-surface, because it will go onto the plastic without any problems. And then I also took my paper twist stems and undid them. And you can either paint them white or you can spray paint them white and get them start drying. So either one of those ways. And I did 2 pieces, and I cut them down at an angle at the tops. So get that drying, and then we're going to go ahead and start on our pumpkin. And on my first pumpkin, I used Pink Parfait, kind of a baby pink, a little bit lighter pink. On this one, I'm going to use Diva Pink. I want to just make it a little bit brighter, even. So you could do this with purple. You could do it with anything you want to. There is no right or wrong on this. So I'm going to pour my color out, and I'm going to use a craft sponge and wet it, squeeze it out so it's just damp, not wet. And then we're going to pounce into our color, and then we're going to go down the ridges and just pounce that color on in the ridges. And as you can see, that is a bright pink. And we're going to cover up some of that, so it's not going to worry about it being so stark. I just really wanted to make this one pink. And we're sponging it to give it more of a natural look instead of so stark. So that's the reason we're doing the sponge look to it. And if you have a problem getting it in the crease, then put it like that first and then sponge on top of it. And that way you get all of that in there. Make sure you bring that down onto the bottoms. Now, we're coming to a side of the pumpkin that has a bunch of little ridges in it too. And I did do it on this pumpkin, but I'm not going to on this time. I'm going to skip those and do the deep ridges where they're more even and not do all those little ones. Now that's totally up to you if you want to do it or not do it. That is your choice. Like I said, I did it on the other one. So I'm going to skip that little guy there and do that ridge there. You don't want to get these too far out, because we've got to cover this back up with some white. And my last one right here. And then I'm going to let this dry really good, and then we're going to come back and put our white over the top of that. Alright, my pink is dried, and I'm going to go ahead and put my white paint on. And again, I'm using the multi-surface paint, and it can be any brand. I'm using Folk Art. And we're going to take our sponge, our damp sponge, make sure you can wring all of the water out of it, and we're going to sponge our white up on top of these ridges in between the pink paint. And we'll go ahead and do a couple before we come back and start to put some more between the pink. Do one more right here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to come back in and you're going to lightly kind of sponge, and you can do it over the top of it too, and blend those two together so that all you see is that pink little line. You don't want to take all of it away. Just blend it in a little bit so you don't have real stark lines. You can do it on the sides, and then you can do just right on top, just a little bit, not too much. You're pouncing a lot of your paint off before you come on over. And then go ahead and finish that all the way around your pumpkin. And if you did end up taking too much of the pink away, you could come back and put just a little bit more pink on there again too, but we want that pink, that's the effect we want. So I'm going to go ahead and finish mine up, and we'll let that dry. Now that our pumpkin's all nice and dry, and make sure when you're sponging you come up here and you kind of fade these guys off up at the top, and make sure you do this area as well. We're going to go ahead and put on our pumpkin stem, and then we'll do the glitter around him. You could do this reverse at home. You could do this after you put the glitter on. We just want to continue to keep the video moving. So I'm taking my stems and I'm bending them over just a little bit, and we're actually making the stem part of the pumpkin. And I'm going to put hot glue on that as well as where it would stick up to on the pumpkin. And we're going to press this down flat. Make sure your sides are in, because we've got to line that up. And as you can see, that makes the pumpkin stem part. So let's do the same on the other side. Bend that up. And glue that part down. And meet up with your stem where you did the last one. And put that down all nice and neat. We're going to cover that up with glitter, so don't worry about that being too perfect. I just need to hold it there for a second because I always want to twist it right away, and I twist it right off my pumpkin before my glue can dry. So once that's done, we're just going to twist those. Get that little twist on our pumpkin. I'm going to cut that one guy off right there just so I can get that more pointed look. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my shell glitter on. And this is a pink shell glitter. If you're interested in it, send me an email at art@miriamjoy.com. We can get you some to buy. And it's glitter, but it's made out of shell, and it's kind of got this rough look to it. And I really, really like that look. So it's a lot of fun. I use it in my jewelry and different things as well. So we're going to take our tacky glue, and we're going to just put on big sections and bring them down all different lengths. And you don't want too many. You want them about a finger's length apart. And I always try to put some down that seam if that seam shows on the pumpkins. And you could use regular glitter, you could use the micro balls, you could use whatever you want. I just really like this shell glitter. It's because it's different, it's unique, it's not the same as everything else. So I'm just going to bring this around, and I'm going to try to stay off my stem. Again, remember, like I said, you could save that stem and do that the very last after you put your glitter on, which is probably preferably the way to do it. I'm just cheating a little bit today. And then I take my fingers and I just go up and down those to get nice even kind of line or coat with the glue. And make sure it doesn't run away from you. Make sure you get those points so it's not dripping down where the gravity isn't helping it go to the next level with you. And then I'm going to take my file folder and set my glitter in it, or my pumpkin in it, so we can glitter it. And I'm not worried about using too much or not enough because it's going to all come back, go back into the bag. Isn't that pretty though? I just love the richness of the colors and everything. And I'll just pour that back into the bag. Now, what I normally have you do at this point in time is let that dry really, really well, and then I would spray varnish it. And however shiny you want it to be, satin or glossy, because you don't want to lose the shine of your glitter. But that also helps it hold on. I always tell you, no matter what type of glitter you're using, if you get an ornament with the glitter, varnish it, because it helps hold it into place. Otherwise the glitter has a tendency just to fall off. And then after that's dry, before you varnish it, just come in with a dry brush and remove all the excess glitter like that, and just get rid of that, clean it up, and then varnish it. And then once you've varnished it, you're just simply going to come in with some flowers, and you can find flowers in the scrapbook section or anywhere like that. I found these at Michael's up in the dollar section, and I had some pink ones, but I had some white ones with the pink in the middle, and I really thought the white ones did it more justice than the pink ones did. The pink ones were just a little bit too much, and I just hot glued those on, and I think that just really makes a cute little sweet pumpkin. You can see the difference between, this is a little bit brighter with the pink that we use down the sides than the other one, but they're both a lot of fun, and just whatever you choose. Don't think just pink, think purple, whatever colors you want to do. I'm also going to do a frost pumpkin, kind of a wintry pumpkin, so think about different things like that. So give us a thumbs up, tell us you liked it, share our video so we can continue to grow to bring you more of these. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you. God bless.